I'm here with my dog, my teammate. I'm super hyped to have my girl here. Two-time WNBA All-Star, Kelsey Mitchell. What's good with it?
What's up?
7 years, 4 coaches, a playoff drought that felt like it would never end. Kelsey Mitchell's journey with the Indiana Fever has been a test of patience, resilience, and sheer determination. But in 2024, everything changed. A new era began. A roster overhaul, a generational talent arriving. And through it all, Mitchell remained the steady force, the silent leader who never wavered. Now, after years of struggle, she's finally getting the chance to shine on the biggest stage.
Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, me, I'm a Midwestern girl. Born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. 5'3" kid. It's kind of tough to come out of where I come from because it's so small, and so you get what you get. It's kind of a dense city. It's not as like a Miami or like a Atlanta, so you kind of get what you get. And so I grew up hooping through my family. I come from a family dynamic of just sports. My dad was he went to school to play football. So he met my mom at Eastern Kentucky.
Okay.
And that's how I was brought into this world.
Shout out to your parents, though. Shout out to your parents.
Kelsey Mitchell has been the backbone of the Indiana Fever for 7 seasons, weathering coaching changes, tough losses, and a playoff drought that felt endless. But 2024 marks a turning point. In a candid sit-down with teammate Erica Wheeler, Mitchell pulls back the curtain on the highs, the heartbreaks, and the moment that reignited her fire for the game. She reflects on the grind of losing seasons, the pride of becoming a WNBA All-Star, and the shift that's finally putting the Fever back in the spotlight. And then there's Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation electrifying the league and reshaping the Fever's future. What does Mitchell really think about the soaring expectations, the passionate fan base, and where this team is headed? This is Kelsey Mitchell, unfiltered and unstoppable. Let's get into it.
Basketball was just always a safe haven. I kind of took it from there, just, utilized what I knew about it. And that's how I knew what my lifestyle was, just through hoop. I had friends through hoop. I just, you kind of gain a lifestyle, and the rest was kind of history.
Yeah, I
look back at it now. I went from Cincinnati and I went up the street to Columbus, to Ohio State University, and I was always a homebody, but I knew I wanted to get out of Cincinnati. That was clear. And once I became a Buckeye, I kind of chose being a Buckeye.
Picture this. You're Kelsey Mitchell, the number 2 pick in the 2018 WNBA draft. You enter the league with championship dreams, ready to carve out your legacy. But instead of playoff battles and trophy celebrations, you face a revolving door of coaches, rebuilding seasons, and one tough loss after another. For years, that was Mitchell's reality with the Indiana Fever, watching other teams rise while hers stayed stuck in the shadows. Frustration, disappointment, the endless grind of trying to turn things around. But through it all, she never wavered. Now, the script is finally flipping. The Fever are back in the conversation, and Mitchell is leading the charge. So what changed? What's fueling this resurgence? And how does she really feel about the Caitlin Clark phenomenon? This is Kelsey Mitchell's story, one of resilience, redemption, and a future finally worth believing in. Let's get into it.
You and E both been here for a number of years, right?
Yeah.
Y'all done been through the tough years. Well, you really got to grind it out. Tough season.
What, you was 7 years here?
All 7.
All 7. You ain't never been to another team.
Girl.
7 years and how many years?
So I was here from 2015 to.
She was my back.
Hey, wait. Wait. Don't count my age right now on TV. Don't do that. Don't do me like that. You know what I mean? I still look good for my age.
When Kelsey Mitchell landed in Indiana, she was a game changer in the making. A dynamic scorer with the potential to shift the franchise's future. The Fever saw their next star, a player who could help bring them back to prominence. But reality hit hard. 7 straight seasons without a playoff berth. Year after year, the losses mounted. At one point, the team scraped together just 5 wins, a grueling low for any competitor. Yet through every setback, Mitchell never backed down. While the team struggled, her talent never faded. From 2018 to 2023, she remained one of the league's most reliable scorers, averaging over 16 points per game, proof that no matter how tough things got, she was built for this stage. Now everything is shifting. The Fever have a new identity, a new energy, and at the heart of it all, Kelsey Mitchell is still standing, ready for the moment she's waited for.
The first 3 years, like you can kind of sum it up. You ain't got to give me a long story. I was there with you for 2 of them. So kind of give me what that rough patch was like, and then we can kind of skip through and get to where you at right now.
Yeah, I think Indy, those from my year 1 through 3.5. Well, let me just say this. I went through my 7 years in Indy. I've had 4 head coaches. So that within itself was kind of like, you know, no one really knows what an experience of like the black stick at the bottom. Trust me, I've been there. Trust me. So I was, you know, that's really how it started, you know.
But personal success can only overshadow team struggles for so long. As a fierce competitor, Mitchell couldn't ignore the questions creeping in. Was Indiana still the right place for her? The points kept coming, the accolades stacked up, but something still felt incomplete. In her own words, the points were the points. The accolades were accolades, but it wasn't enough. That team, winning team, not individual team. You can hear the hunger in her voice, the determination to be more than just a standout player. She wasn't chasing stats, she was chasing something bigger, a winning culture, a team that mattered, and after years of waiting, that moment was finally within reach.
When y'all left, it was still a rebuild stage, so different coaches got hired, and I think that at that point, we was trying to figure out whether I was keep swimming or if I would sink individually. And I'll be honest, I didn't know what would happen in my career. I didn't know how it would turn out because the points were the points, the accolades were the accolades, but it wasn't enough.
That team winning. Team, not individual, team.
Yeah. And anybody that wanted to compete and be a winner, you know,
it's about team.
It's about team. I'm fortunate, and I just think the hand I was dealt was like, you know, I trusted in the organization in different ways, from like the management and the people that they brought in, and so I just kind of like trusted the wave, and so I look back on trusting that wave now, and now you know, I'm here. I don't know what.
You really started over 4 times though.
I did.
Like you, every time you get a new coach, you kind of really start over because you got to build that relationship with that coach. Although the coach know who you are, they know what the players they have in the locker room. It's a different ball game for sure.
I was in survival mode when I put my back against the wall, and so what everybody see now is just I've always been a fighter. You know, I've always kind of had to compete and find a different way to, you know.
Now, let's talk about stability, or the complete lack of it. Imagine trying to build a championship team when the blueprint keeps changing. That's exactly what Mitchell and the Fever endured. 4 head coaches in 7 years. 4 different voices. 4 different systems. 4 different visions. How do you establish a foundation when the ground is constantly shifting beneath you?
I didn't know what All-Star was going to look like for me. I never really put it on not necessarily it wasn't a goal. I just knew I needed to train and do what I need to do to keep my name. Like I said, you in defense mode and everything you do at that point. And so when I got the first, and I was like, really? You know, I got a call from the WNBA. You know, you get the call.
Bro, but like you wasn't even hype. You was just I'm going to WNBA. I said, what? I'm like, hold on. I'm in the locker room like, yo. Hey, I'm like, what y'all? Hey, I'm like,
man, and it's so crazy. Like, I downplayed it.
No, so bad. I need you to know. Hello, no. I need you to know you downplayed it so bad.
But this is where Kelsey Mitchell's true character stands. Out. Lesser players might have asked for a trade or let frustration take over. Not Mitchell. Her work ethic became the stuff of legend within the organization. First in the gym, last to leave, every single day. Loss after loss, she kept pushing, kept grinding, kept believing. As the defeats piled up, so did her determination. And in a defining moment for her career, she made a choice. Instead of walking away, she became part of the solution. It's easy to stay when things are good. But Mitchell's loyalty through the toughest years? That's something rare.
I always got my back dirty.
Man.
There was never a time
like
where I
that.
did.
Hey, that's a good
I
one.
like that.
I always got my back dirty. Hold on, let me put that in my pocket.
I like that.
I always got my back dirty. Hold on,
always
quote
had
that,
to.
quote that. I always got my
For
back
real, I've
dirty.
always had to, and you can kind of relate because you know you've had to go to different places and you know get a spot. And for me, it was about keeping my name at least or my game relevant to enough to have value.
And in 2023, that loyalty finally paid off. After years of individual brilliance overshadowed by team struggles, Kelsey Mitchell got the recognition she had long earned. Her first WNBA All-Star selection. It was more than just an accolade. It was a statement. A reward for her relentless work, her resilience, and her refusal to give up, no matter how tough the road had been. A moment of triumph, not just for her talent, but for the unwavering perseverance that got her there.
You know, it's been a difficult year for me from a standpoint of like personal. You know, I lost my dad 5 or 6 months ago, so that was tough. And I look back on my year now, Dub, and I'm just so grateful to be here again because I never thought, you know, for one, to be doing it without a parent. I think anybody that come from a 2-parent home or know what that's like, or just, you know, lovable parents in general.
Right.
And, you know, when I lost that, I didn't know what was going to happen. That's why I miss my dad so much now because he was the only person that reminded me what that worth was like. And so he was aggressive and hard on me, but it came in a position of now I don't need nobody to tell me. I don't want nobody because when I needed saving, nobody saved me.
But even as she celebrated this personal milestone, Mitchell's focus never wavered from the bigger picture. Team success. Looking back on her journey, she put it simply.
Go through certain things, you know, it hit home, a part of your heart's, you know, broken, and you look back on it, some of the hours that I put in the gym, I couldn't even calculate them because I felt so much pain and trauma. Like, I felt so much pain. Like, I felt so much like, I worried about my mom. I worried about how she feel now that she didn't have a significant other. I worried about my siblings. My brother was overseas. My sister was trying to figure out life outside of her 9-to-5 job, what she wanted to do, and she had got into coaching and relied on my dad for some stuff. And so we all had a piece ripped from us, and we didn't know how it was going to look.
Those words paint the picture of a player who never took the easy road. Someone who fought for every inch of respect she's earned. And in 2024, Kelsey Mitchell reached an entirely new level. She posted career-best numbers across the board, 19.2 points per game, shooting a scorching 46.8% from the field and 40.2% from three. These weren't just good stats, they were superstar numbers. Mitchell was playing the best basketball of her career, and the league was finally taking notice. But the season didn't start with triumph. It started with heartbreak. Just as her star continued to rise, a devastating personal loss threatened to extinguish her love for the game. So how did she find the strength to not just play, but dominate in the face of overwhelming grief?
I look at it now, gang. You know, I look at our lockers and stuff every day. I just be like, dang, I'm here today.
Well,
so I be grateful, man.
Man, listen, I'm in there with you, and I'm telling you, man, you're doing a hell of a job. You show up and do your job every day. You know, sometimes I gotta get in your but that comes with the territory. You know what I mean?
Who would I be if I didn't? Yankee does change.
Hey, but I'm telling you, man, you're doing a hell of a job.
I appreciate you, gang, for sure.
The 2024 season was set to be Kelsey Mitchell's crowning moment. A year that would define her career. But just as she prepared for her biggest season yet, tragedy struck. In March, Mitchell lost her father, the man she called her OG, her best friend. This wasn't just the loss of a parent. It was losing her greatest supporter, her toughest critic, and the person who had planted her love for basketball deep in her soul.
I had a village when, you know, life had hit because my dad was a big piece of like a lot of stuff in the city. And so it affected people in different ways that I didn't even imagine. And so I got therapy. Therapy was icing on the cake. I got with the Pacers facility, St. Vincent, the Fever. Before the season I got started, and I took therapy really serious. Shout out to the doc, man. He was the dopest because, you know, it's nothing like laying your problems on people and shit. They don't judge you.
Hey,
Nah, for
you know,
real.
like, you know, you just lay it on them, and it just kind of helped me. You know, I did it day by day, and you know, I got into scripture, and God Himself was the main thing, though. Like, the more and more I got closer to the word and the purpose, everything got easy.
Suddenly, The game that had always been her escape felt heavier than ever. Basketball, once her refuge, now felt impossibly difficult. Mitchell found herself at a crossroads, questioning everything she had worked for. In a raw and emotional moment, she admitted, "I didn't know what would happen next. If I was going to play this season, how I was supposed to play this season." The weight of her grief was crushing. For the first time, she truly considered walking away from the game entirely.
I'm not lying, I feel like the stick shit at the bottom of the barrel is kind of like, you fighting for it. Defending whatever, legacy you got left and trying to figure it out how to be where we at now. And so, I think we got a chance to do something special.
Well, everybody watching Indy. Everybody trying to see what's going on.
America's team? Dallas Cowboys, I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
Yeah, might be now.
Might be.
I'm joking. Dak Prescott.
No, seriously.
Just don't fall off like the Cowboys.
We in it right now where like I tell everybody, I say I feel like Indiana is the new Hollywood. Everybody wants to sit courtside. Everybody wants to get to the games to see us play.
But this is where Mitchell's story takes an unexpected turn. In her darkest moment, she found an unshakable source of strength: her teammates. The Fever Locker Room rallied around her, creating a support system that would prove invaluable in the months ahead. And at the heart of it all, rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. Now you might be thinking, how could a rookie have such a profound impact on a veteran? But that's the magic of team sports. Clark's arrival brought a surge of energy to the entire organization, and Mitchell felt it too. She found herself drawn to Clark's relentless enthusiasm and unwavering support. Exactly what she needed when she needed it most.
When I look back to where I've never been a part of a playoff, so I don't know what that's going to look like for me personally, but I think everything that I've been through in my life, I got to treat it like it's basketball, man. I got to, take it on like I would anything else, any other game. And I think right now is the time that you can't get caught lacking. You can't get lulled to sleep. It's the easiest time. And I'm, just trying to stay focused on what's right. You know how I go, keep the main thing. But I feel confident about what we could do. I do. I feel like we got a chance to do something special if we, do right by it, obviously. But that goes.
We already on All-Star. How was that? This is your second one?
Yeah.
Back to back. Talk
Second
to
one.
Wait. Back to back. Talk to. Come on, man. No, seriously though, when it's back to back, that just prove people like y'all should have never been overlooked at me anyways. You know what I mean? It's back to back, and like even now, like the numbers is up even more. Like the efficiency is out this world. From like your previous years, from last year, I think you are like a 7 or a 10% jump. That ain't them small numbers, but them big numbers in basketball, bro.
Big numbers.
I appreciate it.
As Mitchell put it, I had a village of 11 other ladies who met me in places I didn't think I was capable of going. That sisterhood became her anchor. In them, she found the strength to step back onto the court, not by pushing past her grief, but by facing it head on.
You hear that conversation, you gotta be willing to give up something to get what you want. And it's like you gotta do what you gotta do, kind of like that effect, like you gotta have it. And I think that secondly, you gotta shut up and work.
What you saying?
Shut up and work.
Wait. Where that camera at? You that one on you? Go ahead, say it right there. Camera right there.
Shut up and work.
Hey, Kelsey said shut up and work.
But Mitchell's journey back to basketball wasn't just about the support of her teammates. She made another courageous choice, seeking professional help. She leaned into therapy, embracing it as a vital part of her healing. As she put it, "I took therapy really seriously. There's nothing like laying your problems on people who don't judge you." Prioritizing her mental health allowed her to process her grief, rebuild her strength, and most importantly, rediscover her love for the game.
The trajectory has changed. The world is watching us, and of course, we got to shout out Caitlin Clark. She has a big part of that, of why the world is watching us. We gonna give her flowers. She is who she is.
Got to.
That's a motherfucker. We gonna just put it out in the air.
That's funny.
But seriously, that's my teammate. That's a motherfucker.
Yeah,
but listen,
C-squared for sure.
As the season wore on, Mitchell's game transformed. Every possession carried deeper meaning. Her shots felt sharper, her drives more relentless, her defense more determined. It was as if she had turned her grief into fuel, pushing herself to new heights with every play. Basketball wasn't just an escape anymore. It was her way of keeping her father's spirit alive, honoring him with every step she took on the court. And the impact was undeniable. Mitchell wasn't just good, she was dominant. Her career best numbers told part of the story, but the fire in her play told the rest. She competed with a purpose, sending a message with every game. Not just to the league, but to herself. She was built for this moment.